Striker Scorpion 82 is now sponsored by Warhammer Combat Cards, a card battle game featuring your favourite Citadel miniatures from the 40k universe. Free to download and play, link is in the video description below or on the channel homepage, and by using the unique link it helps support the channel. Thanks and enjoy the game. Right, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's 1500 points, Thousand Suns, Chaos Space Marines versus Deathwatch. Alright, so 1500 points, 1,000 Suns here. It's a nice medium-sized game. Chance for Aaron to run some of his new units, the Deathwatch, and a chance here as well for the 1,000 Suns to continue to practice with the new codex. So 1500 points of them. What I'll do is call out the patrons at gold level so they get names shouted out at the start of all of our games, and then a patronic dice to use at some point during the battle as well. Their names are Andrew Swan, Chris Heim, Frank Vivecki, Jordan Russell, Justin Burton, Longbow BB, Luke Schwengel, Marcus Anthony, Maxfield Knuckles, Michael Fryer, William, Nicholas Lucas, Patrick Nielsen, Paul Cook, Peter Almo, Ray Cross, Tyler Summers, Dylan Moore and Samuel Penanuri. So big thanks to them for their support at gold level. I'll call out at the end of the game all those supporting at silver level, and a big thank you to those supporting at bronze, and all the names of all the patrons are in the end credits of the video. So 1,000 Suns here, running a battalion detachment and running them as Cult of Times. That gives me access to the Time Flux psychic power ability to resurrect models back to play, and then also access to the Hourglass of Manat relic here, which I put onto the Demon Prince. So HQ choices, first of all, is the Demon Prince here, giving him wings, and then paying the points for the sword as well. He's going to be the Warlord. Warlord trait will be Otherworldly Presence, which will be the 3+ Invuln save that can be activated once per game, and the relic, the Hourglass of Banat, so he's guaranteed to resurrect when he dies with D3 wounds remaining. Then two other HQ choices. It's Disco Inferno here, Exalted Sorcerer on disc. I'll run through Psychic Powers in just a moment. And then another Exalted Sorcerer on foot. Beaker here, the one with the chicken type beaker for him. Then on troops choices, a unit of 10 Rubik Marines. There's a Soul Reaper Cannon in the squad and an Aspiring Sorcerer. 2 units of Zangors. They've taken a bit of a hit, not as good as they were, but they're cheap and I can use them as a screening unit here. So 2 units of 10 equipped with Zangor blades. Then 2 units of cultists, 2 units of 10 equipped with close combat weapons and auto pistols for them. So that's the troops, 5 lots of troops here. Then Terminator's gone for a large unit of 8. No upgrades for them, just going to run them with the Kapesh power swords, and then also the combi bolters as well for them. So I'm just going to run them without any kind of upgrades and just see how well they do, just for the points here in this battle. Then 2 Mauler Fiends here for this 1500 point list, and I'm going to give them the Lasher Tendrils as well. So that's the list here. Psychic Powers is Swelled by the Warp and Glamour of Zinch for the Demon Prince. Then Disco's taking Zinch's Firestorm and Temporal Surge, and then Beaker's taking Temporal Surge and then also Presage for him as well, and then Doombolt on the Rubik Marines, and also on the Terminator, Aspiring Sorcerer as well. That's the list here for the Thousand Suns. Experimental battle for them. We'll take a look now to see what Aaron Allen has in his Deathwatch list. Alright, so 1500 points here of Deathwatch. Aaron's been working hard on some new units, which he will introduce here as he goes through his list. But under development here with the Deathwatch Space Brains, new units being introduced here. Primaris exclusively, isn't it? It's all new Primaris stuff. Yeah, okay. And there's more stuff on the painting desk as well. The ultimate aim is to push towards 2,000 points, completely revamped Deathwatch army here. So chance for some experimentation for Aaron in this battle, and some units to keep an eye on during the game. But let Aaron run through his list.
Okay, so this is my 1500 points of Deathwatch. I have a battalion detachment here. My two HQ choices are a Watchmaster, who has the optimized priority warlord trait and the Beacon Angelus relic. Then I have a Librarian. The Librarian in this list is not actually in Terminator armor, it's just a standard Librarian. And he knows Premorphic Resonance and Fortified with Contempt. Then I have 3 units of troops, which are 3 Proteus kill teams. They have 4 Marines with Storm Shields and Storm Bolters, and 2 Frag Cannons in each. And then 2 of the squads have a Vanguard Veteran with a Storm Shield and a Thunderhammer. Then in Elite, I have 2 units of 3 Aggressors with the Auto Bolt Storm Gauntlets and Frag Storm Grenade Launchers. Fast Attack, then, we have a unit of 3 Outriders. And in Heavy Support, 2 units of 3 Eradicators with Melter Rifles. That's my 1500 points of Deathwatch.
Alright, so that's Aaron's list. Congratulations to Tim for painting up some new units here. And definitely be keeping an eye on the Eradicators. We'll see how they get on in this game. But that's the list here for the Deathwatch. We'll take a look at scenario and deployment now for this battle. Alright, so we have a scenario here. Surround and destroy. It's randomly determined from the Grand Tournament 2021 book. So deployment zone looking like so. Marked by the yellow dice here. 1000 Suns will be at this end. And then across the other side, marked by the red dice, is the deployment zone for the Deathwatch. So for this mission, there's 6 objectives, 1 in each corner, and then 2 in no man's land across here. So 1000 Suns, this one on the right hand flank, just positioned here, and then one across here, just on top of the ammunition here on this flank. You can see the other one across the other side for Aaron's Deathwatch. And then 2 in no man's land, 1 here, and then 1 just tucked in the ruin, and then the one in Aaron's left-hand corner, just tucked behind the wall of that ruin across there. So 6 objectives in total. For primary objectives, then take and hold the control of 1 or more objective marker at the start of the turn, or if the command phase is worth 5 points. 2 or more is worth another 5 points, and if you control more than the opponent at the start of the turn, it's worth another 5 points on top of that. There is the surround them secondary for this mission. For that, you have to control your 2 home objectives, and then it's worth 4 points if you also control one of the opponent's corner objectives, 8 points if you control both your own and both the opponent's home objectives as well. Those points are picked up at the start of the command phase. You have to have already arrived there and cleared it on the previous turn, and then continue to hold it to pick up points on the following turn. So tricky secondary, that one, but each of us here will need to pick 3 secondaries each for this battle. So for the 1000 Suns, we've gone for Retrieve Octaria Stata. So that's performing actions in the 4 table quarters, picking up points for that. Aaron does have a Librarian in his list, so we've gone for the Wrath of Magnus. If we cause more damage and mortal wounds each turn with psychic powers, then it's worth 3 points per turn. And then we've gone for Engage in all fronts as well. That's the control of table quarters. So some tactical choices there from the 1000 Suns. We're also looking for a reward for causing damage with their psychic powers. So Aaron's gone for grind them down, so that's destroying more units. I think Aaron's going to go after the softer 1000 Suns units to try and pick up points for that. Engage in all fronts as well, so you can expect a good spread of play on the board, and raise the banners of the 6 objectives on the table to pick up points for raising banners during the game as well. That secondary is chosen for both sides. we will start alternating placing units on the board. Right, just to mention the battle mat and terrain that we're using in this game. So the battle mat is from GameMat.eu. One of their urban designs here with like the roads marked out, running around like so, and then rolls out nice and flat. We then put the terrain pieces on top, so running 2 terrain sets from them as well. So the Gothic Ruins set, which is these buildings here, these larger buildings also. And then also running the industrial terrain set, which is this larger piece here, those buildings across there, all from the industrial terrain set from GameMat.eu as well. So you can check them out. Link for them is in the video description below for your supplies of battle mats in all shapes and sizes, and then pre-painted terrain sets available from them as well. Okay, so deployment's done for both sides here, both armies spreading across the board. So Thousand Suns spread across here, so we've got units angles just at the back, just waiting to see who goes first. Then across here, Maulerfiend in front of that is the Rubik Marines, and then Beakers join them as well. So just a Maulerfiend Psyker and Rubik Marine combination across here. Then this Ruin moving across. Terminators are on the board this time. Unit of 8 across here, just behind them is Disco Inferno. Maulerfiend to the right. Dim Prince just tucked behind, and then another unit of angles just on this extreme right hand side. So then for the Thousand Suns, paying 2 CP and putting the 2 units of cultists into tactical reserve to come on turn 2 onwards along the edge of the deployment zone or further up the board on the flanks on later turns. So that's deployment done for the Thousand Suns. We'll go around the other side of the table and you can see the deployment for the Deathwatch. So here there is some reserves for the Deathwatch. So the 2 units of Eradicators. Aaron's played a stratagem on them. They can arrive via deep strike with a unique stratagem called
Teleportarium.
Teleportarium.
Because it's a strike force battle, I can
do it twice. Yeah, great. Okay, so we'll see the Eradicators deep striking. I've already asked Aaron if I can do that for my Space Marine armies, but the answer is no. It's unique to the Deathwatch. So that's a good combo for that unit. So they can deep strike on the board turn 2 onwards. Bikers on the right hand flank, unit of aggressors with them. Then Proteus kill teams is 2 squads here, the 2 squads with the jump packs, and the Librarian is with them as well. Aaron's just playing him as a regular Librarian. He's using the Terminator model here for this game, but just playing him as a regular Librarian. And then there's nothing here in the middle. So the Deathwatch have split here into 2 flanking battle groups. Proteus kill team, Watchmasters with them, and then on the left hand side, just tucked next to the building here, is the 2nd unit of aggressors. For terrain, which I just mentioned at this point, we're going to play line of sight blocking on this terrain piece, looking through from either direction this way, but as soon as units are inside this template here, then they'll just not get that, so just count as light cover for these units here, but there is that solid wall just blocking line of sight anyway on that one. Then across here, this one will play as line of sight blocking light cover ruins, same with this one. Munitorum armoured containers on these buildings, like so, here and here. Munitorum containers across there. Because of the lower height of that one, just play that as light cover ruins. And then there's a little bit of AdMech terrain on the board as well, just over on the Thousand Suns right hand flank. That's terrain. There's a few obstacles on the board as well. So that's deployment done for both sides. It's the roll-off now to see who goes first. Whoever rolls the highest must go first. I think it's after me, isn't it? Cow Scum. Okay, it's a 2. Deathwatch are going first here. Well, they certainly are. Darren's rolled a 6. It's turn 1 coming up. It will be the forces of the Imperium that go first as this mission begins against the Thousand Suns. New Codex here for the Thousand Suns. New units for the Deathwatch. We'll see who prevails in this 1500 point fight. Turn 1 coming up next for the Deathwatch. Okay, so movement done on turn 1 here for the Deathwatch. Bikers surging ahead, just a regular move from them, or yeah, regular move from those. And then Proteus kill teams pushing forwards. Librarian just behind. Aggressors raising the banner here on this flank, so that action's been performed. And then across the other side, aggressors have moved inside here, along with the Watchmaster onto this objective. Again, so raising the banners here on this one. Yes, that's going on there, so Aaron's going to mark that up. And then Proteus kill team heading across in this direction through to the objective inside the ruins. Movement quite straightforward here, some activity on both flanks, but especially on this right-hand side. Movement's complete. Psychic phase? Yeah, we're going to psychic phase next. Yeah, we're just checking the rules. I reckon we can, and that's perform raise the banners more than once in the same turn. Can't see a cap on that for each turn, so we're going to let Aaron raise banners on both of those objectives, no problem. Okay, so psychic phase here.
Okay.
With the Librarian.
So we're going to do premorphic resonance, and we're going to do it on the bikes.
Bikers, okay.
Okay. So we need a 6. That goes off. I am outside 24 of your Psyker.
Aaron's already checked. Yep, no problem.
So that gives me Overwatch on a 5+, fight first in any engagement, and add 1 to hit rolls in melee.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Yep. So we'll go for
next one.
Fortified with Contempt on the same unit. That'll give them 5 up, feel no pain.
Nice.
That's a 6 again. Yep, does go off.
Goes off, okay. Successful psychic phase. 2 powers manifested here, being put onto the bikers just to beef them up as much as possible. That's psychic phase finished. Shooting phase next. Right, so only the bikers able to shoot here, and they're going after the Zangors.
The Zangors, yeah.
Right, okay.
The twin bolt rifles.
Okay.
3s.
We're still toughness 4.
Okay, so 4s. 2 -1.
Okay, so we'll take our 5+ in bud save, which we block none. So 2 chickens no more. So those 2 there can go. And I think that's the end of the end of the shooting phase. I think our leadership's 7. So I actually do have to take morale here. Oh no, they're very happy. Okay, so shooting phase finished, morale resolved, obviously no charges to take place, the turn comes to an end here. Just a bit of manoeuvring going on here with the Deathwatch. We'll hand over to the Thousand Suns, see how they react to the Space Marines on both of these flanks. Turn 1 coming up for the Thousand Suns next. Okay, so movement complete here for the Thousand Suns on their first turn. Maulafine moving round here, a regular move. It's 11-inch charge. There's some kind of chance we could make that one. Doom Prince has advanced, keeping to the flank of the Maulafine. Zangors have moved around to claim this objective. That's going to be their job. Terminators have moved forwards. Disco's jumped ahead of them. We're hoping Warp Surge is going to push those forwards a bit more. We've advanced here with the Rubik Marines, rolled a 5 for them. So they now move 6 inches. They moved up in this direction, claiming this objective. Beakers with them. The 10-inch move around here with the Mauler Fiend. I reckon it's a 10-inch charge here, just maybe worth a go against the bikers. And the 8 Zangors have moved across this way, but still within range of holding on to the left-hand objective. So movement's done. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next here. Plenty of powers available here for the Thousand Suns. Okay, so we're going to go for Temporal Surge. We're going to run it from Disco here, who's out of range of Aaron's Psyker. So we want to try and activate this power unharassed, if possible. Put it onto the Terminators if we can, to get them to move again. It goes off on a 10. +1, so that's going to be 11 for that one. So nothing you can do. No, I'm going to move the Terminators again here. Okay, so Terminators have moved. Now in the ruin, you can see through, so we can let off a volley against that Proteus team. We're going to go for Smite now from Disco. So, it's a Perils. So I'm going to command reroll that because I know we can do better. It's a 4. +1, it does go off on a 5. Out of range, so it can't be stopped. So D3 mortal wounds. So 2 mortal wounds caused on the Proteus squad. Okay, so casualty taken. So then I'm going to pay 4 points here from my Carbalistic Rituals and play Malevolence Charge. So if the psychic power inflicts mortal wounds, then it's an extra d3. So we'll go Patronic here just to give us a little boost. We'll take William with his debut roll here. And 2 mortal wounds caused. Nice. So that'll be another casualty here. So he's slain a Marine. William's an Orc player, so he'll be happy enough to kill one of those. So another model removed from play. Then I'm going to pay a CP to manifest an additional power here from Disco Inferno. So that's 3 powers for him. So we'll go for Zinch's Firestorm, which goes off on a 7, becomes an 8. So not enough to get the 5 pluses to cause mortal wounds, so it'll be 6s. Nothing. 0 from that, so no impact from that power. And that's Disco Inferno finished. Next we'll go Demon Prince and Smite from him. Needing a 6. Perils. Weird. Okay, so we'll pay a stratagem this time to ignore the perils. It's just automatically ignore the effects of the perils, and that power doesn't go off. Strange there. Don't usually get many perils here, but that's 2 here in this first psychic phase of the Thousand Suns. So then we'll go for Glamour of Zinch, try and put it on the Mauler Fiend. So that goes off, no problem. So that's -1 to the hit rolls against the Mauler Fiend here. It could be a target perhaps of some deep striking eradicators. Okay, so we'll go Beaker next. Can't see any targets, so we'll go for Presage here and put it onto the Terminators. 10, that goes off, no problem. So +1 is 11, so it'll be difficult to deny. But do you know what? It's probably worth just rolling because there's no other powers. Yeah, so double 6 here required. Yep. No, okay. So it's going to be +1 to the hit rolls for the Terminators. Yes, that's it. Smite, we can't see through. He hasn't reached the building. Doombolt is line of sight, can't see through to any target, so that is the psychic phase finished here. Not too bad. A bit shaky from the Thousand Suns, a couple of perils coming up, but the rules as a reroll, stratagem, and so on, and helping the Thousand Suns out here in the psychic phase. So we'll go on to shooting phase next with the Terminators on the board. There's a fair bit of DACA available here for the Forces of Chaos. Alright, so 3 CP has been spent here. So Terminators firing their combi bolters. We've gone for Infernal Fusiliers. It's an extra shot, an extra 8 shots coming through. Remember, they're on +1 to the hit rolls. Re-rolling 1s as well for Disco Inferno nearby. And we've paid another 2 CP for Wrath of Thronged, which is +1 to the wound rolls as well. We're going to put all the shots into the Proteus squad. The idea is to try and hurt it a lot if we can. So we're looking for 2s. And then there's some more, and there's some more. So it really is an Infernal Fusillade here. And then we're going to reroll all of our 1s as well, which there's a fair few. Just looking around. Okay, I think that's it. This is Disco helping out. So I think every shot has found its mark. Feeling a little bit evil at this point. And then 3s to wound instead of 4s. So we'll see how much that stratagem helps out. Okay. And here's some more. Okay, some are failing, but plenty are getting through. The 3s to wound has helped. There's a few in there. And here's some more. And some more. Proteus team should be in trouble yet. Okay, so the 3s has helped out for sure. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 28 saves at -2. So that'll go down to the Invuln save on the shields.
Okay, so let's see. 2 4s, okay.
Ouch.
One dead.
So there's 2 shields here, one's gone.
Okay, so 1 wound has gone through.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's dead. That's 5 done so far.
So 23 saves, 5 plus.
Yeah.
Okay, more dice required. Just dragging out their existence for a little bit longer.
Okay. Yep.
There they go. Okay. Maybe a little bit of overkill. Perhaps. Who knows? But job done. It's cost us quite heavily in CP. It's the expense of that Terminator unit. It's about 300 points. So I expect them to do well enough. But just the regular fire from their combi bolters, they're gunning down the Proteus squad as they push forwards. So that's sort of one of the reasons why I wanted to run a large unit of Terminators. You could stack up the stratagems just to create one nasty volley from them. But there's bonuses to splitting them up as well into the usual 2 squads of 5. But pressing on, there's no firepower here. I don't think there's anything else to do actually. No, that is it. Shooting phase is finished. Charges, yes. There's a charge around the corner here with the Mauler Fiend. It's unlikely that it will go ahead, but possible. So it will be a 10-inch charge. Oh, no. Patronic. So we'll go for some of these dice have got, or some of these gold level players have got 2 dice stacked up. That's because we didn't get to use them in the previous game. So we'll go to Dylan Moore here. Yeah, give me a Chaos player. Who's Chaos? Nobody, not that popular. We'll go for. We'll stick with Dylan. Dylan Moore here. He's a Death Corps Krieg player and Dark Angels. You never know. 8, right. Come on, reroll. It'd be handy to get into close combat, so we'll give it a go. So we'll pay the CP, and then we'll use Dylan Moore's dice again. It's no, certainly not. Imperial player says no to the Mauler Fiend charge. It doesn't go ahead. It's still positioned quite well, tucked behind the terrain, but I think Aaron will be able to reach it. No problem with some units here in close combat and possibly shooting as they start pushing through the cover. So Mauler Fiend charge hasn't gone ahead, but other than that, the turn's not gone too bad for the Thousand Suns here. Pushing forwards, causing damage in the psychic phase, and then a deadly volley from the Terminators, wiping out the Proteus teams. Turn 1 comes to an end here. We'll check to see what points, if any, have been picked up by both sides. Yes, no points picked up here. It's Aaron raising banners on his first turn, but that'll kick in on turn 2. 3 points over off of Magnus. We destroyed more, or caused more damage and mortal wounds in the psychic phase than the Deathwatch. So 3 points, easy points, really picked up for the Thousand Suns. They take the lead by a tiny margin. Early stages here in this battle. We'll go on to turn 2 now for the Deathwatch. Okay, turn 2 here for the Deathwatch as the battle begins to escalate here. There's been some manoeuvring taking place, some clever stuff from the Deathwatch. Spikers have swung around. They're going to try and take on the Mauler Fiend, but they've been joined by a unit of Eradicators here. So these have turned up. Aaron's able to deep strike in with these, just over 9 inches away from the Mauler Fiend. And the idea is to try and soften up, if not destroy it, if possible, before the bikers go in. We'll go around the other side of the board. There has been some manoeuvring going on. So aggressors continuing to hold on this objective here, then the Librarian and the larger Proteus team moving around the corner here to take on the Rubic Marines, looking healthy enough for the Deathwatch on this side. Now across here, so this is Beacon Angelus used. Yep. It's a relic, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other larger Proteus squad that was across here has shifted across and landed just here to provide reinforcements on this flank. Unit of Eradicators has turned up as well to lay down some firepower, I think, against the Mauler Fiend, and the Watchmaster and aggressors have moved out. Aaron's picked up 10 points here for primaries. 2 primaries under his control at the start of his turn, and 4 points for raise the banners as well, been picked up. Yeah, no, it's 1 point. Aaron wouldn't answer me there because he knew I was wrong, so it's 1 point per banner, so 2 points picked up in total. So just like in the vibe, the feel here with the Deathwatch, these units that could turn up via deep strike, it's pretty good. And then also the ability to relocate here with one of the squads really helping to rebalance this flank here. So good manoeuvring here from the Deathwatch, loads of firepower available as well, but Psychic Phase coming up first.
Bikes.
Right, so 45 of Contempt, same power as before going on to them from the Librarian.
It's a 9.
Okay, well, we'll try and deny with Beaker and be foul, so we'll leave that.
Okay, and then we'll go for Smite.
Regular smite coming through, which is going to hit the Rubik Marines. 6, right. Deniable. We'll try and block with the... yeah, we'll block with... Doesn't matter. We'll block with the Rubik Marines sorcerer here. 10, yeah, he does. Okay, stops that from coming through as he tries to protect his Rubik brethren. Shooting phase next.
We'll get to reroll ones.
Yep.
Because of his aura.
Right, it's Eradicators here. Debut shots from them, no pressure, going into the Maul of Fiend. So you reckon it's 2 shots each?
2 shots each because they didn't advance.
Right.
They can do their total obliteration, it's called.
Yes. Okay. Here it comes. 3s. Okay, some have missed.
2 3s.
2 3s. Yes. Glamour of Zinch, remember, is kicked in from the previous psychic phase. -1 to hit rolls. Sorry, Aaron, to mess up the debut there. That's annoying because it's at the to hit stage here. So you could try and reroll a hit. 4s. Rerolling 1s.
I'm going to leave it for something else. Maybe.
Painful.
Okay, so 4s to wound then? Are they toughness 8 or toughness?
No, toughness 7 then, boys. Yeah, 3s to wound.
Okay.
Wound comes through.
Let's go through.
5+ invod save, which I think will take a lot of damage could come through here. So we'll just go for... I got no chaosy friends. Samuel Pennary, who says, "Wow, yes, chaos. A 6, blocked, 0 damage from them."
Right. Well, we're gonna.
Not the next squad. So early. Okay, it's gonna go straight to the next squad here.
Right. 3s.
3s.
That's a bit better.
Okay, that's bang on average.
Okay. 3s.
3s to wound.
Good.
All of them.
I'm going to
CP reroll, yeah. So 3 have made it through. This is looking really good here. And no with that one. Okay. So we'll try and block here with 5+ invuln saves. Blocked 1.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and CP because that can make a big difference. So we'll go for Tyler Summers. Here, needing a 5. See if he's a Chaos Helper. Oh no, he's a Space Marine player. And an AdMech player as well. Let us insult him here with our roll. 6! Join Chaos, Tyler Summers.
Okay. Well, I'll use Andrew Swan then.
Andrew Swan, undeclared of his allegiance, but we shall find out what he is. 2.
2 + 2 because they're within
Right.
range of 4.
4 in total. Okay, could have been a lot worse, but 4 wounds taken. Dropping down to 8 on the Maul of Fiend, but not so good.
No.
Not so good. Okay. There might be a bit hit and miss, Eradicators. Sometimes they'll just totally destroy something.
Yeah.
But the best kind of firepower for them is, because they're limited number of shots perhaps, is no kind of modifiers. They just need those 3s to hit. And then no kind of invuln saves going on to cause trouble as well. So, but what can you do? It's about the only heavy targets available at this stage. So we'll press on, more firepower to come. Okay, so Aaron's going to take the bikers. Some DACA available from them. It's going to go onto the Maul of Fiend here. The idea is to chip away some more wounds. There's 8 wounds left at this stage, so a few more wounds removed would prove very useful indeed.
Okay, so this is the twin bolt rifles.
Yep, it's tactical doctrine as well, so it's an extra AP -1.
So 3s.
Okay, 5s to wound. Just the 1.
Just 1. Yeah.
Okay,
-2.
fouled though, so wound taken. Dropping down to 7.
And then 3 heavy bolt pistols.
Yep.
2 hits. 5s. No.
None. Okay. So next, this Proteus squad's going to offload everything it has into the Rubik Marines to try and cause as many casualties on them as possible. Alright, so shooting here, Aaron's going to fire. What round are you going to put in?
I'm going to go for the shell round.
Shell round, because damage 2 now, we're 2 wounds, so
So this is 4 shots.
with the shells.
Yeah.
I can see some 1s.
1 hit.
Oh, yes, the librarians. He's not going to help out with firepower. Okay.
Okay, and this is going to be a 3, which it's a 1, which I can reroll because they're troops.
Yeah, Aaron selected to reroll wounds
Yeah, so this
of
is
1 against
-3.
troops. -3. Right, I'll take a 5+ invuln save. Failed. So we'll lose a Rubik Marine from the squad. Okay.
Our Stormbolter shots.
Stormbolter shots coming through now.
Okay, so 3s. Okay.
Well, toughness 4, just as normal.
Yeah, so 7 at -1.
Okay. So we'll take all his dust, and I'll put the wounds onto these models here at the back that are taking cover. So we'll take a 2-up save. So roll up here looking for 2s, but it's enough to slay a model here. Okay. It's like a command reroll 2+ here, but I'm running a bit low on CP already. So we'll leave it. We'll take the hit, we'll take the casualty. Model removed from place. That's 2 Rubik Marines slain now. Okay, here comes a bolt pistol.
Hits. Wounds.
And saved. Okay. Next, Proteus squad's going to fire into the Terminators, start the process of grinding away at them.
So we're going to use the shell round again.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, 3 hits and...
All wounded.
Yep, -3.
Yeah, 5+ invuln saves. We'll roll up here. Nothing. Damage 2 each time.
2 each time.
Right, okay, so we're going to lose a Terminator. So 3 wounds each now. And then we'll put 2 wounds on another. So glad of the wounds increase with the Terminators. It does make a difference. It's made a huge difference. Previously would have lost 3 models. Just losing 1 this time. Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Okay, Stormbolters.
Yeah, still might lose though, the model.
So rerolling 1s because of the Watchmaster.
Loads of DACA coming through. And then falls to wound. And here's a good few.
6 -1.
Okay, so we'll go back to +1 for all his dust, looking for 2s. There's the 1, which we could command reroll, keep a model alive. There's aggressors to come as well. We'll take... Well, oh boy. We'll command reroll. We'll try and keep the Terminator alive if we can. So we'll go for a 2+. Just about. Okay, so model survives. Kraken bolts going to be used here by the Watchmaster against the Terminators.
Okay, that's a hit. And that is not a wound.
Okay, that's his firepower done.
Yeah. So aggressors.
Yes, aggressors are in range.
I think.
Nice lot of shots available from them if Aaron elects to offload into the Terminators.
Yep. So yeah, we'll go into the Terminators.
Okay. I'm a big fan of aggressors, not the most popular of choices, but as one of these smaller units of 3 finds himself in range of the Terminators, so Aaron can unleash the DACA with these.
Okay, so this is the Boltstrong Gauntlets. Rerolling the 1s. This helped a lot.
Yeah, that's the Watchmaster guiding them.
Okay.
Falls to wound.
Yeah. Pretty good. So it's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 at -1.
God. So 11 at -1, but we'll take all his dust, so we'll keep our 2s. And I just made it through, just about. A wound comes through to bring that Terminator down. It's taken a fair bit though. There's a lot of grinding required against these Terminators now.
Okay, grenade launchers 3d6.
Yep.
So it's going to be, that's going to be a 3 because it's a blast weapon and you've got still
Yes,
left.
that's fine, yep.
So that's 9 and 3 is 12.
Okay.
Okay. 3s, re-rolling 1s. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
Hang on, re-roll the 2 ones, right?
8, 9. Okay. 2s. Yeah, we're okay. Just the 1 taken. It's the larger units because there's still a good sized unit here. Still 6 models. Still potent enough. So I do like the idea of the larger units of Terminators. They're expensive. They're more costly in CP. But there's a lot more damage absorption with them, and they should prove difficult to eradicate. Any more firepower left? Okay, shooting done. 1,000 tons absorbing the damage quite well. We'll go on to charges, though. There must be some charges to take place. We'll let Aaron roll those up here.
Yeah, I might go
Okay,
for...
sorry, in the middle of charges here. Right, Chris Heim here. This is 2 dice for him because we missed him out in the previous game. This is a reroll charge as Aaron attempts to go into the Terminators here. So a real chance of glory for the Emperor here, who is an Imperial player. Chris Heim's an Imperial player, but says no here. And he's a Space Marine player as well. Okay. So not gone in there against the Terminators, just caught that on camera. This charge went ahead, no problem at all. And obviously the biker's going in against the Mauler Fiend as well. We could interrupt play. We've got 2 CP left, so Aaron can pick his first out of 2 combats. Yeah. Wow, I just got to... We're quite limited with the damage that we can do with the
Yeah, I think I'll put
Marines.
bikes first.
Yeah, bikers first here. 7 wounds required to strip away from the Mauler Fiend. So loads of attacks for bikers on the charge here.
Okay, 3s.
It's tricky though, 7 wounds to try and get through. Hitting's not going to be too much of a problem, but wounding. 5s needed. A little bit of pressure here. Aaron was hoping to cause a lot more damage on the shooting phase, but hasn't come through forward. Okay, so we are going to survive. No minuses at all.
-1.
It is -1. Take 4 ups. Oh, past all of them except 1.
Okay.
Dropping down to 6 wounds. Smaller Fiend half destroyed, but very much alive. We'll not interrupt play. And it's not going to be worth it here with the Rubik Marines, so Aaron's free to fight here with the Proteus kill team. So just zooming in, you see the detail of the fight that's taking place, and there's the Rubik Marines bracing themselves here for combat here against the charging Marines. Okay, so Thunderhammer first, just to try and slay hull models. Falls.
Okay.
2s.
Okay.
5+7 on save. I like to save here, so we'll go for Peter Almo. Try and keep one of my Rubik Marines alive. No, not a chance. Okay, so we'll lose this model here. We'll not re-roll that one, so it's another one slain. Okay, and then this is a regular combat weapon set. So 3s. And then it'll be 4s to wound.
Five, 6.
6 make it through. I think I get my all is dust here. We'll just check to see the wording, see if we get it in close combat. Yeah, you just get it against damage on weapons. So we'll take that and take 2 ups. Look at that, it's helped us out. But we have to fail 1 here, so we'll take a wound on one of the Marines here. But we're glad of the extra wounds. You can see both of these units here are blessed now to have the extra wounds. 2 on each of the Rubiks and 3 very welcome on the Terminators. Combat done?
Yep.
We'll strike back. So we'll go here. 3 attacks with the Sorcerer. If his stave will hit, no death to the False Emperor anymore. 3s to wound at strength 7. Yeah, they've all wounded. -1.
Okay, so we'll go
These will be D3 damage.
D3 damage each. So storm shields. So
Yeah.
3 up.
2, just made it through.
Damage, see if it kills one.
2 damage.
Okay.
D3. This model's slain. Oh, another one's gone through. Still made D3. 3 wounds on that one. No way. Oh, it's gone through as well. CP reroll here.
Becky. CP reroll.
Okay, here comes Frank's roll to try and stop the humiliation. Frank says, it's a 3. Yes, got it. Right. So Aaron's rolling 3 is not a 3+ invod save. He's taking armor save there because I'm AP -1. He's on +1 again because the Storm Shield gives you +1 to your armor save. So that's fine. So 2 models removed.
Yep.
Could have been 3. But Frank said no. So Rubik Marines now are 2 attack space, so we'll fight with the rest of the models. Okay, so looking for 3s. I can reroll 1s for the Exalted Sorcerer for core units. And then we'll be on 4s to wound. No kind of minuses going on here. But plenty of wounds though. 8. Striking way above average here.
So 2, oh hang on, I need to do these 2 at a time for 2.
Storm Shield, yeah, Aaron can take 2 ups.
So 2 ups, that's fine.
You should be able to absorb this, no problem. 1 wound taken. Just going to go 1 at a time.
There,
Just to stay alive. Oh!
Dead. Okay.
Okay.
So there's 1 storm shield left.
Yep. Another wound taken. Oh, disaster. Okay. So Storm Shield model removed and then a wound taken on another. Okay, right. Okay, consolidation move made. We may hold that objective. Now we've managed to go against the odds there and bring down some extra models for control of that objective. Across here, Mauler Fiend. It's taken 6 wounds here, so it could be in a bracket. Okay, so Mauler Fiend fighting the bikers. We are in a bracket, so we're looking at 4s for hits instead of 3s. Moment of truth here. Oh, Darren's got away with that. Oh. Sheesh. Okay, and then we'll go for 2s to wound. 2 make it through. These are -3.
Okay.
So these will be D3 +3 damage. Quite anti-biker here.
So we'll go...
Jordan Russell. He's an Eldar player.
1, 6, no.
No.
And
Justin Burton, another Eldar player. No. Okay. Oh, Salamanders as well. But no, it hasn't helped out. You would have got it if you'd modelled a Salamander model across here, but Aaron's gone for Dark Angels, Blood Angels, and Imperial Fists. But anyway, so those 2 are fouls. It's D3. It's not guaranteed. It is guaranteed to kill. 4 wounds each.
yes, but I do have the 5 up field up here.
Right, okay. So D3 on the first one. 3 + 3, 6. So 5s to try and block. A valiant attempt, but no. And then the next one. Right, so 4 in total. So this one's much more doable. Yes, just about. Okay, so 1 model slaying 3 wounds on another. Then we'll go for Lasher Tendrils. Might be able to pick off the last wound here. So looking for 4s. Looking for 3s. Strength 6. 2 make it through at -2. So 2 at 5+. Only damage 1 nowadays. So 5s, blocked 1. And then 5+ on 1 dice. Yes! Saved. Okay, Spiker's still in pretty good shape. Taking some damage, but could have been a lot worse. Okay, and that resolves combat here. It says morale, Aaron should be fine. We auto-pass, so we can take that one away. We auto-pass the Terminators as well, just with the new Codex rules. And 5, 6, 7, 8, Aaron will pass with the Sergeant. No problem at all. So morale's been resolved. Game's certainly starting to heat up here. Some vicious combat's taking place. But Thousand Suns is absorbing the damage pretty good. So impressive enough with them. And then we've seen some pretty good manoeuvring here from the Deathwatch as they try and take on the Thousand Suns here across the board. We'll give you a total score now at the end of turn 2 for the Space Marines. Yeah, so some more points coming in. 10 points in total for primaries. 2 points to engage in all fronts for this turn. Aaron now has models down here in this table quarter, and then also raise the banners at 2 points. So 14 points. Thousand Suns still on 3, but they've got a turn in hand. We'll go on to their second turn next. Thousand Suns looking tough enough, and they have a turn available to them as we go on to turn 2 for them next. All right, so turn 2 here for the Thousand Suns. Pressing on with them, 15 points picked up for primaries. We held this one here, this one here, this one in the middle as well with the Terminators, and across here as well. So 15 points picked up for primaries there. Moving across here and retrieve Octarius data of these as well. That's just their job at the back. Then swinging around on this flank, Dim Prince has moved around a full 12. He might be able to sneak round and charge there at the back. We'll see what happens. Morlevane pushing up as well, just over an inch away from the Eradicators. Terminators, 5-inch move from them, and behind those is Disco Inferno. Restoring a wound back up to 7 here on the Morlevane. Holding position here with these in close combat. And then Beakers move around to support them with psychic powers, possibly charging as well. And the Zangors, a bit of a tactical move here. We'll see if we can get a charge across in this direction, just to try and maybe pin down for at least a turn the Eradicators, if we can. That's movement done. We haven't brought on any of the Cultist reserves. We'll leave those off the table for now. And we'll go on to Psychic Phase next. So I'm going to go Smite here, straight into the Marines from Beaker. So it goes off on a 6, that becomes a 7.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well,
probably worth trying to block, yeah. So Aaron's going to try and block this one.
We do.
On an 8, well done. Okay. Yeah, so we've got Presage of him. So I'm going to try and go +1 to the hit rolls onto the Terminators once again, which we do, rolling an 8 in total. So we'll just mark that up here. Bit of a menace, the Terminators. Talking to Terminators, we're going to try and resurrect a model here with the Cult of Time, Time Flux ability. Oh, it's 3, becomes a 4. We'll just check, though. It is a low requirement for that to work. So I'm going to come on and re-roll that. It really is worth trying to bring an extra Terminator back on, which we do on an 11. Nothing else special happens, but that will restore a model to play. Okay, so model restored. We've actually put him there at the front just to gain a few inches up the boards. Back up to 7 Terminators now. So we'll go to Disco Inferno and try and make the Terminators move again, if we can, which goes off on a 9, becomes a 10. So we'll make another move with the Terminators. So that's their move done. Moving around the corner there and pushing right up to the edge of the ruin. We'll go for Smite now with Disco. And it does go off, becomes a 7. D3 mortal wounds, just the one caused there on the Proteus kill team. So I'm going to go for Tzeentch's Firestorm. I'm going to pay a CP here to manifest an extra power from Disco. See if we can spoil the party for possibly the Watchmaster. I think we can. So walk charge value of 6. If manifested, select one enemy unit of an 18 invisible to the Psyker. Roll 9d6. Yeah, it doesn't say any limitation on who I can pick, so we'll go for the Watchmaster. See if we can scare him here with this power. Hoping to roll high. We haven't. I was hoping to roll higher to try and get 5 pluses to cause mortal wounds. We rolled a 6 in total, so not good enough for that. Yes, I reckon we can. Some of the Thousand Sun psychic powers just let you pick on targets that you want with no restriction for the closest unit. Looking for 6s. Just the one. So a mortal wound caused. Watchmasters, fine. So for the Doom Prince, we'll go for Swelled by the Warp here. So we try and improve his fighting. Yes, so it's +2 strength for him and an extra attack. So we'll just mark that with one of these counters on him. And then there's 1 power left. Glamour of Tzeentch, -1 to the hit rolls. So put that on the Demon Prince himself, and that should go off. Needing a 6 +1. Yes, so that goes off. -1 to the hit rolls against him. Going to go Doombolt here with the Rubik Marines. And that goes off on an 11, so it's a straight 3 mortal wounds caused on that squad. So there's a model slain. Yeah, mortal wounds roll over, so another model removed. Yeah, that is painful. Ouch, there's 2 models left in that squad. Okay, so looking around, I think Psychic Phase is finished. So what we'll do is we'll go on to Shooting Phase next to the Thousand Suns here on their second turn. So whilst you remember, do a pistol here in close combat, which hits and wounds, and it's -2.
Okay. That is failed.
Failed. Okay, so wound comes through. We'll do his Inferno pistol into the squad in front, which hits and wounds. Another AP -2.
That's fine.
Passed, yeah, that's a Storm Shield. Okay, Terminator's going to unleash everything they have into the aggressors. So not as many shots as last time. But we're hitting on 2s though. Just drop to dice. Go for another shot. Okay, and re-rolling our 1s. Here, because of Disco nearby. He's helped out for sure. There's another 1 to re-roll that. Okay, so we did get a miss this time in total. And then we're looking for 5s to wound those. Strength 4, toughness 5 on the aggressors. As some have come through. Okay, so we're looking at 3, 5, 6, 7. The toughness helping them out to some degree. So 7 saves at -2.
Okay.
Might be able to get a model here. Yep, yes, it's going to slay a model and then put a wound on another hit. And that is pretty much it. There's no other firepower available. So we'll go on to charges. Thousand Suns do have plenty. Aaron's got enough CP here to interrupt play. So we'll need to choose which combat we do first wisely here. But lots of charges to roll up for with the Thousand Suns. Right, charges have gone ahead here. Overwatch was used against the Mauler Fiend going in, just on the chance of perhaps getting a couple of 6s, but no hits come through. And Mauler Fiend slams into the Eradicators. Dim Prince sneaked around the corner here, going into the 2 remaining aggressors as well with his charge. Then Terminators have gone into the Proteus kill team as well. It's a bit messy over in that corner here, multiple Thousand Suns units making it into close combat. To help out the Rubik Marines across here, Baker's gone in against the 2 remaining Marines, and then we command rerolled. We tried, but the Zangors couldn't be persuaded to go into the Eradicators. No charge taking place there. This unit freed up, no doubt, to have another go at the Mauler Fiend next turn. But we'll pick a charging unit to fight with here. Aaron can interrupt play, so Thousand Suns just need to pick as wisely as possible. So I'm going to go first with the Terminators here. I'm going to use their Kapesh power swords, which have been vastly improved. 3 attack space for 6 of them. Got the stave here as well, which we'll do first. So stave first of all from the Aspiring Sorcerer. It's looking for 2s. Reroll. Yeah, 2s, because I'm +1 to hit rolls from the Psychic power. Presage. And the rerolling ones because of Disco nearby, who helps out. We'll go for 3s to wound here at strength 7. Just the 1 comes through at -1.
Longbow BB.
Longbow BB to save the day for one of these Storm Shield men.
No.
No. Okay, so that's D3 damage.
Well, it's going to kill a Marine.
Yes, 1 on a wound. Okay, so he goes. Like so. Okay. And now the Kapesh. Prosperine Kapesh, I think it's called. So 2s. It's a horrific roll. Thankfully, we've tried to cover ourselves for such an eventuality. Yeah, so what was horrific is a full house of hits. See, there's large units of Terminators. We're on +1 strength with these blades now, so 3s to wound. Okay. Vengeance for Prospero. I guarantee you there's a Space Wolf model in there. If you check the shoulder pads, I can just sense it.
No, there's actually not in that unit.
Oh, okay. Made you look.
He's over here with his...
Oh, he's over there. Oh, he's still alive with his hair. I should have noticed. Right, okay. So we've got 14 saves here. The damage 2 as well. So there may be damage or trouble ahead here for this squad.
So, shields, pass.
Shield holds. Feel free to use Patronics to help out in this time of dire need. 12 rolls left.
Okay.
Oh, they're undeclared. Luke Schwengel.
Okay.
Blocked.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
for the Emperor. Well done.
Marcus Anthony.
Marcus Anthony.
Ooh, no.
No.
Another one gone.
Okay.
Right. We have 1 shield left.
Maxfield Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Yes. Let Maxfield, just let him keep going.
Okay.
See how long he can hold here for the Emperor.
Right.
Another one? No. Okay.
Okay.
Storm Shield's gone. These are AP -3 as well. Ugh, yuck. So it's down to 6s with the remaining dice. Not looking good. No, he's just going to roll. Target destroyed. It's the new power swords here from this large unit of Terminators, beefed and buffed up here with some buffs and bonuses. They've hacked their way through. They're a bit scary for firepower and for close combat. Okay, they're doing well. Well done, lads. Yeah, Aaron says he rates the unit here. It's durable unit, psychic abilities, all is dust. And playing them differently. Usually they're deep striking in somewhere on the board and pretty much just starting to let loose a volley. But we've seen here on turn 1, immediately getting involved in the game, and then on turn 2, making a big contribution as well. So playing the Terminators on the board immediately in the game seems to be paying off well here for the Thousand Suns. But there they are. I've done a 3-inch consolidation with them, so they're pushing forwards in this direction, headed off towards the Watchmaster and towards this objective as well. We'll press on and let Aaron interrupt play. He's eager to fight back here against the Thousand Suns. Yeah, I did a unit of 8 because the unit of 10, a big blob of 10, is 400 points without any upgrades. So a bit expensive. So 320 points instead for 8 of them seems to be a good enough size. So Aaron's going to interrupt play with
The aggressors.
the aggressors right back across this side here against the Demon Prince. So I'm on -1 to hit. Aaron's on -1 to hit anyway, so you can't stack it up. So it's just going to be 4s for hits here against the Prince.
Okay.
Lots of attacks and pretty good roll.
Reroll 1s because of the
Watchmaster, yeah. Wow.
That's pretty decent.
Not too bad at all.
These are coming in at strength 8.
3s to wound.
Okay, so what I might do is spent my last Patronic CP to try and reroll all of these.
Michael Fryer, needing a 3+.
No.
No, okay. 6.
So that's 6 at -3.
So it makes sense now to use my 3+ invuln save for otherworldly presence, wall or trait. It's helped, look at that, those 2 3s there blocking that damage. So 2 have made it through in total instead of 4.
4 damage. So that
4 damage.
would have killed me.
That would have killed me. Yeah. Okay, that was a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay. The Imprints lives. Oh, you would know, even if you killed him, you would have got back up again.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, with the hourglass of Banat. Okay, so 4 wins taken, 4 left. So I'm going to fight back with the Imprints as well here. So 5 attacks base. Extra attack available for the Malefic Talon. And an extra attack as well for the Psychic Power that's on him at the moment. 2s for hits. This is with the sword. No reroll ones available. Now we could be maybe on 2, because we're on +2 strength. We'll see what we need to. It's definitely going to be 3s. Could be 2s, maybe. Yeah, forget it. Aaron's playing transhuman, so it saves me calculating it out. So I'm going to look for 4s to wound. And okay, so 3 have made it through. It's AP -3, and it's damage 3 here with the sword. 6s.
Nope, they're gone.
No, they're gone. Ouch, gone. Okay, that was worth taking the sword upgrade. Okay, Doom Prince destroys his target. Watchmaster adds, looking a little bit lonely at this stage. So we've consolidated towards the Watchmaster just to add more pressure onto him. We'll go Mauler Fiend now into the Eradicators. Mauler Fiend's not so popular now because they can't double move, but we're glad to have their assistance here as we've pushed forwards. This one's at full strength, 6 attacks, needing 3s. Okay, 2s. All of them. Okay, these are -3, and they will destroy Eradicator models at 3 + D3 damage. 4 of them, sorry, yes.
Okay.
Needing 6s, double 6 here. How's this unit's going to go? No, Eradicators gone. Very quickly. Ouch, Thousand Suns causing... The damage levels have increased. His damage is higher. His damage is higher. Damage 3. Terminators, their damage is higher, and it's cutting through the Marines a lot quicker than usual. So we're starting to see some of the benefits and improvements coming through on the new codex here. As we'll go across here, Beaker with his assault. 5 attacks based in 2s with the stave. Can't reroll ones for himself. And then 3s to wound at strength 7. So 2 make it through at -1. This could be enough to take out the unit here.
-1 to 3s. Another thing.
Blocked both. Yes, that's the Storm Shield kicking in. Yeah, fine. Okay, so that's made it through. And all charges resolved. Aaron's chance to pick a combat.
Yeah, I'll probably pick like
Go across here with the bikers, yeah, to see if they can cause some damage on the Mauler Fiend.
Okay. Just 3 hits and 5. So 2 wounds -1.
4 ups. Blocked.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so then we'll fight back against the bikers. We've kept our higher brackets, so back up to 6 attacks. We'll go for Lasher Tendrils first, try and pick off that last wound. Just looking for 3s. 3s again. Yeah, 4 of them, -2.
Okay.
Yep, that's got that biker and 2 other wounds come through onto that model. And now just need 1 successful fist attack to make it through. 2s. Yep, 666 required.
Nope.
No, target destroyed. Okay, target destroyed. We'll stay where we are. There's no point in moving out of here to get shot at by the aggressors. So we'll hold there. We know the Eradicators there, but there's not much we can do about them.
Okay. So
Pick a combat. Yep, so Aaron can fight here against the Rubik Marines.
Thunderhammer. 2 hits.
That was a bad move. I should have attacked there, but a bit carried away.
2 wounds.
2 wounds come through. Oh look, I'll take a double stack dice. Here's Ray Cross. 2 saves required, need 5s to help out the... No. Okay, so 1 and 2 models slain.
Okay.
That's the Space Wolf, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, appropriate.
Regular dude, 2 hits, 1 wound.
Come through, yeah. So we'll take a 2 up save for all his dust. Yeah, 3 hold facing. Okay, we'll strike back with the stave. Try and stab the Space Wolf here, looking for 3s. 3s again. Yes, 2 come through, -1.
Okay, pass both.
Oh, Defiance here. And then 2 attacks each, so it's going to be 8 attacks. Last of the combats here, but it's gone well for the Thousand Suns. Looking for 3s. Looking for 4s. Okay, so just 2.
Okay. Fine.
Passed, okay. Yeah, damage should have been coming through against this Marine that had the wound. We've removed him from play, just checking back on the results coming through. So the situation is it's the lone wolf left now against the Rubik Marines, and then Beaker out of combat here at this stage. So combat's resolved. It's gone well for the Thousand Suns. They've cleared away whole chunks of the Deathwatch at this stage. We'll calculate points. Turn comes to an end, and once again, there's no morale issues here for these. They're auto passed, but we'll give you a score now. See if the Thousand Suns have caught up. Yes, points coming through. 15 for primaries, another 3 coming through for the Wrath of Magnus, with more damage being caused in the psychic phase of mortal wounds, and 2 points for engaging all fronts. Now that the Thousand Suns pushing over into the quarter. Up on the right hand side, so 23 points to 14. Thousand Suns are in the lead, and damage wise they've caused a lot of damage here this stage, eliminating a good number of units. This flank has been lost here for the Deathwatch. Better on this side, but still plenty of Thousand Suns resistance at this point in the battle. We're going to turn 3, but the game is sliding in favour of Chaos for sure. Deathwatch running short on resources at this stage, but it's worth carrying. I want to see what happens here with the Space Wolf hero with the jump pack. see how well he does as the battle presses on. We've got the Lone Watchmaster as well, who'll defiantly fight on as well. We're going to turn 3 now, the middle stage of the game for the Deathwatch. Okay, movement's complete here for the Deathwatch on their 3rd turns. Librarians moved through in this direction to help out the Lone Marine, the Lone Space Wolf fighting away. Aggressors still on the objective in this corner, but moving forwards. Eradicators, I think they're going to try and gun down the Mauler Fiend here and then charge into the Zangors, and then the Watchmaster, there's not really anywhere for him to go. He's just going to turn and face the Demon Prince here. Bit of a battle of pride taking place as he makes perhaps a final stand here over on that flank. Movement's done, not much to do really. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next.
So I'm going to go Premorphic Resonance and I'm going to put it on the Space Wolf.
Oh, here we go. Aaron's going to try and soup up the Lone Marine as he fights on.
Okay, so we're going for a 6 here. Right.
Goes off. Oh, I could try and stop it. No, we don't.
Okay. So he's going to fight first, and +1 does hit rolls.
Well, that's helpful. Yeah, good choice of psychic powers here. And the next one?
Okay, well, we'll just go for Smite.
Okay.
Just that unit down. Oh.
Super duper Smite.
Okay.
I could +1 to psychic tests, I think. I'll just see if I get a double 6. I do. Oh, we're going to have to check the rules here. If I'm on +1, we'll block it. That's weird. No, it's +1 to psychic tests. So no. Scared you, but no.
So I'll do D3 on myself.
Oh, because it's a peril.
Yeah.
2 wounds taken on him.
Yeah. And then
Surely a Patronic.
well, I'll steal wires.
Paul Cook.
Paul Cook.
Paul Cook says he's an Imperial player. It's the perfect setup, Aaron. You're going to get another 6.
Well, 6. Yep, good man.
Ouch. Vengeance for Prospero. No, that's the wrong way around. That was impressive. Good trade-off. Taking 2 wounds and caused 6 here, decimating my squad, which could now be finished off by the crazed Space Wolf. Nice move. Psychic phase finished. Excellent result. We'll go on to shooting phase. Right, the imprints here. Vengeance round going against him from the Watchmaster. So he levels the spear. Rapid fire, yeah, 2 shots.
2 hits.
This is going to be damage 2. Aaron could bring him down.
Well, it's actually going to be damage 3 because that's what a vengeance round does. One
win comes through. We're back down to a 4+ invuln save. There's stacked up dice here. I'll go Patrick Nielsen. We'll take one of the dice stacked up for him. 4+ invuln save to help the imprint. 6. Nice. Oh. Okay.
Alright.
No target for the aggressors. What's he equipped with?
Bolt pistol. I could...
Pop a shot against him? Yep.
Nope, misses.
Okay.
Okay, so Eradicators then. Into the mortar field.
Right, take 2 of them. So debut here for this unit. A second shot.
Really.
Yeah, no.
Okay, 5 hits.
5 hits, this is better.
Okay, 4.
4 wounds. Okay. Patronic. Yeah, Patrick Nielsen. I need to pass all of these. No. I'm still alive. Nicholas Lucas will take these 2. Give me a... Oh, God, not a chance. And then 1 more, just a regular dice. There's 4, wasn't it? Made it through?
Yeah.
Right, so that's 8 damage already.
Damage.
I'm sure Aaron just wants to roll the 4 dice. Yeah, okay. And then do we explode? We don't. It's all right. Morphine destroyed, as it should have been. It's a bit better. Yeah, no, once those wounds come through, scary stuff. So I made no invuln saves there. So that shows you the difference. Those 4d6 damage coming through. Horrific damage.
Yeah, against tanks and stuff, they'd be brutal.
Yeah, no, don't give up on them. And they've just made a keep me gesture here to Aaron towards the end of this game. Okay, good shooting from the Eradicators, and they're tough enough to go into those angles and cause them trouble if he wants to charge them in. Shooting phase finished.
Yep, that's it.
Charges. Some small units to go in here, so a number of characters and the Eradicators to charge. Okay, so this is the last charge.
Oh, yeah.
9, 10 and an 11-inch charge being made, so Deathwatch happy to go in. Across here, it's Librarians going in. I could lose the Rubik Marines here, and then going in against the Dim Prince, who could be brought down here by the spear. So pick a combat. I can't interrupt play, I've got no CPs. Aaron's free to fight with his 3 charging units.
We'll go for the Watchmaster first.
Okay, Watchmaster over in that corner.
Okay, so he's -1 to hit, is that correct?
Yes, I am, yeah.
So he's hitting on 3s. Can't really roll 1s. Okay, this is strength 5, so...
5s. 1 comes through.
This will be -4.
Oh, 4+ invuln save. Passed.
Okay.
Okay.
Librarian.
Yeah, regular Librarian, he'll have 4 sacks. So, number of attacks for him.
Okay, 2 hits. Plus 2 strength 6.
Okay.
2 wounds. -3.
Oh no, I need to pass one of these. Invuln save. No, squad destroyed. It's D3 damage.
D3.
Okay, we could live. Dead and... Oh, come on. Rubik Marines... Have we fired a shot with them yet?
I don't...
No, you charge straight away. No.
Charged, yeah.
Bit of a contrast to the Terminators, who've been happily dackering away each turn. But Rubik Marines, in contrast, are contacted early on in close combat and have been busy fighting away and have ultimately been destroyed. Eradicators hit.
3. Okay. 3s. Toughness on
Toughness 4 on these, yeah.
Okay, so 4s. 3.
Up invuln saves. Past 1. Okay, so 2 chickens gone. They're still alive though.
That's it from me. So
That's it?
carry on.
Okay, so I'm going to attack in here and fight back with these. So they're equipped with the Zangor blades. So you get extra attack. Extra attack for the squad leader. Then 4s. Look at that, it used to be 3s. We lament the change in the rules for these. I don't know why they've got worse. And then 4s to wound. -1. So 3 saves at -1.
Okay.
Almost got one. 2 wounds taken on the Eradicators. Like so. Okay, so that's that combat resolved. There's nothing across here. And then the Demon Prince. So he should cause trouble for the Watchmaster across there. So there's the combat there. You can see the 2 locked in deadly combat here. Watchmaster on a wound. 5 attack space. Extra on for the psychic power that's on them at the moment. And then there's the Malefic Talon as well, which we'll do separately. So looking for 2s. Looking for, I think it's 2s. We'll need to check there because there's 2 2s, but there could be 6 saves to make here. Yeah, strength 10. Strength 7, +1 for the sword, and +2 for the psychic power as well. So it's going to be 6 saves of Invans, 4+.
Okay, so he's filled 4.
4, it's damage of 3, 12 wounds. He is cut to ribbons here by the Demon Prince. So nasty attack on that flank. Perhaps the numbers hiding the value there. 185 points the Demon Prince, 320 points for those Terminators, 125 for Disco as well, and 150 with the Ball of Fiends. There's a large concentration of the Thousand Suns points going onto that flank across there, and they've ultimately cleared that entire area. Bit of a different story across here, but damage heavy on both sides on this flank. So that's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So no morale to resolve? Yes, there is. There's these. And happy enough, 6 in total. So that's morale holds for them. Happy enough to fight on. We'll see if there's any points been picked up here by the Deathwatch. Yes, some points flowing in. The 5 points picked up for primaries this turn. An extra point for a banner as well. So 21 points to 23. Thousand Suns still ahead by a small amount at this stage. But again, they've got a turn in hand and should be able to cause enough trouble this turn. Perhaps a mopping up action as we go on to the 3rd turn for the Thousand Suns next. Alright, turn 3 for the Thousand Suns here. Happy to carry on with the Zangles, just tying down the Eradicators. Brought these on here and performed Retrieve Octarius data with those. Across here, Beaker's move around to use Psychic Powers and potentially charge in. Zangles happy to hold across here. 15 points picked up for primaries here for the Thousand Suns, and a fair bit of movement across the other side of the board. So across here, Maul of Fiends swung around to hold on to this objective. Terminators have moved 5 inches up the road to lend some fire support in this direction. Anticipating being able to move them again with Disco Inferno just within 6 inches to help them move. Demon Prince rolled 5 plus his 12 jumps. He's moved across to here. And then that's pretty much... Oh yes, there's these as well. Cultists turning up on this flank across here to help out with engage on all fronts. So movement done. Psychic phase next. The Thousand Suns here on turn 3. Okay, so we'll go Smite straight across here. To try and take out the Thunderhammer Space Wolf. 6 plus 1, 7. So Aaron's going to try and block this.
What you doing?
Oh, right, okay. So we'll leave that with him. There's not really any other powers to use. As we'll try and make the Terminators move again, if we can, which goes off in 7, 8. It does. So we'll move those up the road another 5 inches just to help them with their range as they let loose some Daka into the aggressors. So Aaron's going to move those for me, just straight up the road. Ooh. Oh, Demon Prince just balancing there. Aaron's going to move them up, lovely. And then I'll try and resurrect one of their number as well with Time Flux. Yes, it goes off, so we'll put them back to their starting strength. And that model can go in fronts back up to back up to 8. That's the crazy thing. 2 of those models resurrected during the game. That's 80 points being added back on to the Thousand Suns here. So the perfect unit to use that Time Flux ability. Yeah, there's 2 mortal wounds has come through from Smite there as well from Disco. Okay, so then powers available from the Demon Prince here. Yes, the Demon Prince got the Glamour of Zinch. We'll put that onto the Terminators. There's not much point. That's 11, that's gone off, so that's -1. That's the hit rolls against the Terminators, and that's pretty much... No, that's about it. Yeah, Psychic phase is finished. So we'll go on to shooting phase here. Really, it's a ton of firepower now available from the full strength Terminators down the road against the aggressors. Okay, so shooting phase 3s. Rerolling 1s because of Disco nearby. It's really helpful to have that Psyker nearby. All those 1s. Yeah, it's really helped. So the 2s will be misses this time. Most hits or most shots have come through. There's a 2 there. 5s to wound though. Aggressors. Just looking for 5s. Okay. So coming through at -2 is all those. 6, just 6.
5s. Oh, not bad.
Block 3. Okay. So model removed, and then the wounds trickle over onto the next one. Okay, 2 left. Pistol. Yeah, I'll shoot at the Terminator. Missed. Here, actually, auto pistols. Not auto pistols. Zangor blades. Yes, I think it's auto pistols. We'll shoot first and ask questions later. A hit. Ugh. Okay, don't need to check. Completely missed and failed to wound, and that's about it for firepower. Okay, we'll go on to charges next. Just the 1 charge, just Beaker going in here against these 2. I will try and take on... Yeah, we'll go Glorious. We'll do 3 on the Librarian and 2 attacks into the Space Wolf here. So 2s. God, 2 6s and a 5. It's going to be 3s to wound. Triple 5. Okay, -1 for the stave.
Okay.
Big roll here. 2 5s and a 6. Oh dear. And then we'll do 2 attacks into the Space Wolf. 2 hits. 2 wounds on 2 5s. High scoring results here. And 6 and 3.
That's okay.
That's a save.
Yeah.
Because of the Storm Shield. Yeah, keep granting +1 to armor save, so everything's bounced off. Uh-oh. Beaker's got himself involved in a combat here he may well regret. Okay, so Aaron will fight back.
Fight back over here.
Alright, this one, yes.
Okay, 3s. 4s. 3.
5 ups. Blocked 1, 2 slain. Okay.
So, Thunderhammer?
Yeah, the Space Wolf fighting away.
No.
2 misses.
That's it.
Give it a go. Yeah, because it's damage 3, isn't it? It's probably worth it. Yeah, it's a hit. It's a wound. All Patreons are used up. 4+ invuln save. Come on. Yes. That'll continue. Nice.
Okay, Librarians.
Try and survive this.
2. Nothing. Oh, yeah.
Stave.
Power of packs.
Yep. Saved on a 5. 4+ invuln save. Holds. Right, 0 damage. Bit of a surprise expecting a result down there, but no. Okay, turn comes to an end. We'll see what points have been picked up here by the fighting here. Zangors. There's 4 of them left, including the twist spray. 4s. And 5s. They've got 2. 2 at -1. And it's enough. Killed a Marine. Okay, so you can go. And we'll leave ourselves exactly where we are. And turn is now over. We'll check morale for these again. 5, 6, 7. Yes, they should be fine. Okay, so points picked up here. Engaged in all fronts, 3 points this turn now because of these cultist units that have turned up to help out. It's 1,000 Suns in all 4 table quarters quite comfortably. So 3 points picked up for that. 15 points as well for primaries being held as well. Aaron did get 3 points though for grinding them down. He destroyed more units than us. So pushing his total up to 24. 1,000 Suns now on 43. So well ahead at this point in the game. Yeah, as we're saying, the battle's lost, but there's some unfinished business that needs to be resolved. So we'll press on. We'll go on to turn 4 for the Deathwatch next. Okay, movement phase finished. 2 aggressors have gone after the cultists here to bring those down. Aaron does have the DACA. Just for those 2 models would be enough to actually wipe out that squad. So movement done. We'll go on to psychic phase next.
We'll do smite.
Super smite into beaker here.
No, well it does go off, but it's super
Regular. Okay, we'll try and block that. No, we do not. And command reorder. I've got a CP available. Now it's worst result. D3. Just the one. Okay, it's taken a mortal wound. Yep.
It does go off, but it's suitable if you another deny.
Yeah, is there anyone else? Yeah, there is. Yeah, Psyker's Disco. See if he can spoil this one. 3 I've scored.
Okay, so he gets it.
Goes off. Okay. So that's Premorphic Resonance.
Yep.
Okay, so that's granting on the Space Wolf again.
Yeah, so that's granting fight first, and he'll be hitting on 3s with this hammer.
Nice. Okay, psychic phase finished. Shooting phase next. Okay, gauntlets. It's the perfect target.
3s. Okay.
6 of them. Minuses?
No minus.
Ooh. Might get saves here for my Zinch t-shirts. Yeah, one of them blocks. Okay, so half a squad destroyed, 5 dead. Pick any 5 you want, doesn't really...
I'll do the rest of it and then I'll...
Oh, frag storm grenade launchers.
So 2d6.
Guaranteed 3 hits at least, yeah.
That's 8.
Can he do it? 8 shots, 3s. Oh, good result.
And 3s again.
3s to wound. Yo.
Troops.
Yes. Reordering his ones.
So that's another 6.
So I need 2 6s here to stop the wipeout. No.
Okay.
Target destroyed. Well done. Okay. There's a few other bits done. Pistol across here, but I blocked with an armor save. And pistol...
Pistols in there, but they...
Missed, didn't they? Yeah, okay. Shooting phase finished. No charges, really. Ongoing combat, so we will pick... we'll go Beaker. Okay, so we'll split again. We'll try...
Right.
No, your ability.
Fight first in that combat, so you could choose that one if you wanted, because that...
May as well.
It's just you can't fight against him first.
Yes. Now, just let me think. If I... So I can't pick here
No.
at all.
You could put all your attacks in there, but you can't fight first against him. I think is the way it will have to work.
Well, check this. Oh, you mean you're saying I could pick that right now and go into the librarian? Yeah, we'll have a look, see what the wording is, see what the options are. Right, okay, the wording seems to be that Aaron's unit can fight first, in which case I'll pick there and throw everything into the librarian. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Okay, so 5 attacks into him. In 2s. And 3s to wound. Okay, all of them. Right, so it's 4. 4 at -1. He's dead. Right, okay. Librarian gone. Yeah. Okay, finally. Glad to see him go. Now, can we survive the swinging mad hammer from this Space Wolf?
I'll go over there.
Oh, no, you don't have to. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Go across here.
2. Okay.
It's enough to kill those angles if the wounds come through.
Rerolling wounds. No.
3. 5 pressing one saves. None. Just down to the twist spray left. So him, and him. We've lost the objective now. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to go. So you want to...
I think I only wounded with 2 of those, so you can put 1 back, so it's contested.
Okay, so something like that. Okay, so now...
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay. 5 attacks. Need 4s. 5s. A wound comes through again. -1. Wound caused. So, okay.
Right. Hammer time. 1 hit.
1 hit.
We'll use my last CP.
Last CP.
Yep, 2 hits.
It's good. 2s to wound. Oh, just the 1. So he will survive. And a 4+ infant save. Come on. No. 3 damage taken. We're still alive though. It's a 5 wound model. Exalted Sorcerer. Okay, so Beaker lives. And combat's resolved. Turns over. We're out. 2. They're fine. Again, doing their job. And we'll calculate points. Yeah, so 30 points now in total for the Deathwatch. 5 more points picked up for primaries. Another banner coming in as well. So 43 points to 30. We'll go on to, which should now be the last turn of the game. We'll go on to turn 4 for the Thousand Suns. Okay, movement done. Disco's jumped across here. And then Terminator's moved up the road. The Imprint has jumped across and advanced. 15 points picked up for primaries as well, because we hold this one, and the Wall of Fiend at the back, just holding the one in that corner as well. And then these have moved up here to join in this combat, to get further bogged down here by the cultists. That is movement done. Psychic phase next. So we'll go Disco Smite. It's actually going to go off on +1, and D3 mortal wounds. Just a wound caused. Yeah, we'll go Zinch's Firestorm to finish him off. Goes off on a 10, so it's going to be 9 dice, need 5s. Just to pick off the last wound from this model. Yeah, 3 mortal wounds. Okay, so that's that cleared. Okay, then not much else really. The Imprints. The Terminators, we'll go for Doombolt with them, see if that goes off. It perils, we'll keep the result. No, we'll use our CP just to negate that, negate the effects of it, but we'll keep the Doombolt result, which is straight 3 mortal wounds. That's going to remove a model and leave him, yeah, and flick those over across there. Okay, and the Doom Prince with a Smite. Goes off on a 9, becomes a 10, and that's going to destroy him, so that's cleared him out of the way. So truly the game is over. We'll leave it at this stage. It's just the 2 Eradicators left at this point in the battle. So we'll give you a final score here. Thousand Suns have won. Took them a bit longer than planned, but they have achieved victory. So what we'll do is we'll calculate points this turn, and then add on any points that would have been picked up on turn 5 as well for a grand total. Okay, so final scores here. Maxing out on primaries here for the Thousand Suns, so 45 points for that. Retrieve Octarius data, it's infantry to complete that. Out the 2 lower table quarters here and here were completed, but didn't complete and wouldn't have been able to complete as those 2 quarters, so just 4 points picked up in the game for that. Wrath of Magnus caused more damage and mortal wounds every turn, so maxed out with that one. It's a great choice to take if the opponent has a Psyker in their list. And then Engaging on Front's pretty good here, 3 points for each turn with a spread of units across the board, so 11 points picked up for that. So 75 points to Thousand Suns, a good score in the end from them. The Deathwatch, Aaron kept up the tally of 5 points coming in each turn. For primaries, 10 points on turn 2. Grind them down, achieved on 1 turn, so 3 points picked up for that. Engaging on fronts was a struggle here of units being destroyed quite early on, so 2 points. Raise the banners, kept the points trickling in for that one, especially on the one objective over in that corner, so 6 points in total for that. So 36 points to the Deathwatch, 75 points to the Thousand Suns. It is a clear victory to them, but it's been a good outing here for the new units. Good to see them on the board. And then add some promising combinations for the Thousand Suns here. We'll talk about units of the game next for both sides.
Pretty tasty in close combat, and
Yeah, it contributed quite well. Yeah, aggressors. Aaron's going to give it to the aggressors. Their firepower and close combat ability was pretty good, especially just for the smaller units of 3. Then honourable mention to the lone Space Wolf down here, particularly annoyed at the Thousand Suns' presence on the battlefield, so he fought tenaciously to the very end here before finally being overwhelmed. For the Thousand Suns, going to give it to the Terminators, who are back at full strength, marching up and down the road, letting loose of their firepower, psychic powers, and a menace in close combat as well with their new Kapesh power swords. That's units of the game for both sides. Just call out the patrons at silver level. That's Darren Gardner, Denny Wright, Peter Goodall, and Zachary Lee. Big thanks to them for their support at silver level. You can check out the end credits for all those supporting on the Patreon page. But in this particular battle here, it is the forces of chaos that prevail against the Deathwatch. I'm sure it won't be the last we see of the Deathwatch here. Aaron has more units on the painting desk as his army goes through a major revamp. That's the battle. If you've enjoyed the game, please do like the video, leave a comment, and be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and turn on notifications for alerts for future videos on the channel. So that's the game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.